Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually doing a sit-down video, which is shocking. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a really long time. But today I wanted to sit down and talk about some of the things that I noticed while I was back in the US for a little while. In, I believe September? Yes, in September I was home in Texas for like almost a month. So while I was there, I kept track of some things that I felt like are definitely different from here versus the US. Here as in Germany, if you are new, hello, welcome. I am currently living in Germany because my husband is stationed here. So if you're interested in hearing what differences I noticed that I didn't really even think about, then subscribe down below and let's get started. One thing that I noticed is different. Oh, also I'm gonna address this. I know it's November, I know it's not even Thanksgiving, and I know I have Christmas stuff up. Don't judge. Also, if you judge me, I don't really care. I also have the Christmas tree up, so it's fine. One thing that I think is very different is that mornings here in Germany are not as quiet as they are in the States, which might sound the opposite. I feel like for some reason, I don't know, to me it would seem the opposite, but in reality, a lot of people wake up early. They have like farmers markets. No, I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but where we live especially, people are out and about in the morning, like getting groceries or like running errands or going on walks or like whatever. Whereas I feel like in the States, if you go out at like 10:30, which is not that early, if you go out at like 10:30, there's still like no one really around. I feel like a lot of people stay in until a certain time, like obviously unless you're like going to work and stuff, but like on the weekends especially, mornings are a lot more like, you know, things are happening around town. And in the US, and during the weekends it's not that way. At least where I was and what I noticed from where I was in Texas and Oklahoma for a little while, so that was the first thing that I noticed that made me start this list. Another difference that you don't really think about unless you like actually move here and have to drive here, people take right on red. Like you can do a right on red in the US, but you can't do that in Germany. So good thing to know if you are moving here. When you're driving, if there's not a green light to like tell you to go right, don't go right on red. Fun fact. All right, so then another thing in the US that I noticed a lot with like driving especially is that there are stickers on like everyone's cars, and I personally don't like putting stickers on my car because I don't know, I watch a lot of true crime, and that's all I'm gonna say. But I don't really like putting stickers on my cars, and here I noticed that it's like way more rare to have stickers on their cars, and it's usually like bigger logos that are stickers. Like a lot of people in these states will have like more funny type of stickers, and I think the stickers on cars here are typically more like businessy marketing type of things. So yeah, stickers on cars are definitely not as common here as they are in the US. And another thing with cars and driving in the US is that I feel like road rage is way bigger of a thing in the US. Driving in general, I feel like is just more stressful for me in the US. I don't know. Maybe I'm just more used to living over here now, but road rage is a thing. Also, another thing you should know if you're moving to Germany, don't flick people off while you're driving because that is illegal and you can't do that. So if you have American road rage and you come to Germany and you try to like, you know, flip the finger, then people will probably not be as casual about it as they are in the States, where they'll just flick you back. What's that word? Flick it back? Flick your finger back? What is the word that I'm thinking of? Flick you off back. Like in the States they will. Here, it's, you don't do that. Do not do that. Don't do that. I feel like a lot of things have to do with driving, so I apologize, but it just like blows my mind the differences, because you really don't think, I mean, a lot of people don't know, this is really sad, but a lot of people don't know that when you're in Germany, you drive on the right side of the road in the like normal side of the car, like in the US, like that's not different. A lot of people for some reason think that all over Europe you drive like on the wrong side of the road, like compared to the US. So driving necessarily isn't that different, but like different like cultural things about driving are different. One thing is, another thing I guess, is left lane. When you're in the left lane, we all know the left lane, and if you don't, now you do. The left lane is the fast lane, and in the States, at least in Texas, I'm gonna say, at least in Texas, people drive in the left lane all the time and don't really get out of your way if they're not supposed to be in the left lane. Like if someone's driving kind of slower, people will pass you in the right lane in the US. Like they just like, you know, left lane is supposed to be the fast lane and like the passing lane, but that's not really the case. Like if we're all just being honest, that's not really the case. A lot of people ride the left lane even though they shouldn't be. I'm sure I've been guilty of it, I don't know, a long time ago, I don't know. I'm typically not somebody who likes to drive in the fast lane anyways, but here, if you are passing somebody, you go in the left lane, you get over and you move out of the way, because someone going 300 kilometers per hour will go behind you, and like they straight up, like, this is hard to do with two like cars, but like if you're driving in the fast lane, someone will come up like this and they'll be like this close to you until you move over. So that's definitely a difference in, I mean, people ride your tail with good language. People will ride your tail in the US, but here, like, people know, like, get over, and they'll flash their lights at you to like tell you to move over. Whereas in the States, I feel like you just don't, like, you kind of just ride the fast lane sometimes. Like, I'm not saying I do, but I'm just saying people typically don't get out of the way. And the speed limits are on these big screens, like above the highway or like the Autobahn here, and the right lane will like be very slow and then the left lane will be very fast. And if like something's happening that I don't know why they do this, but a lot of the 18-wheelers, big trucks like that, they're not really like the size of 18-wheelers in the States. That's another difference. 18-wheelers here and 18-wheelers in the States, I don't know if they're considered 18-wheelers here, but like big transit trucks like that, like cargo trucks, I don't know, we've always called them 18-wheelers, here are so small compared to the States. Anyways, yeah, so they usually move over, and then people who are like driving normal-ish speed will stay in the middle lane, and then the left lane is typically for people to just pass you. So that's very different whenever you're driving here versus the States. A lot of these have to do with like driving in cars and stuff, because it's very different and you wouldn't think it's that different. But here, you pump your gas and then you pay for your gas, which like I knew that, and it's kind of like, it's a difference, but it's not something that's super like, wow, I noticed a difference, but that is a difference. It's so weird being in the States, like paying for gas first and then having to put the gas in, like, or like putting your card in and then paying for it. Here, we pump gas, go in and pay for gas afterwards. So that's an interesting difference. So the last thing that I want to share, there's two things under this like category, but I changed my phone. I guess I didn't change it. I just like reactivated my phone number from the States. So I had my American number this time whenever I was home instead of my German number, because I was there for so long and it was like basically a month. I could just pay for a month. Jake was there for over a month so that we could, I don't know, it was just worth it. So we switched back to our American plans for just that time, and the amount of scam calls that I got, crazy. And then Amber Alerts as well. Amber Alerts, I got a ton of Amber Alerts, which like is kind of sad. And I never noticed that before, because I mean, I guess I never noticed that while we were living here. We never get alerts like that. We never get like silver alerts, Amber Alerts, weather alerts type things, like emergency alerts like we would normally get in the States. So I don't know if there's just like a different system for that, or I don't know, or what, but I noticed that's definitely a difference. And when I went home, when I tell you, I probably got 30 scam calls in the less than 30 days I was there. Not even kidding you. I got so many scam calls, and it's really frustrating because my number is like usually inactive, and so I'm like, I don't understand how I even am getting spam calls, because I'm normally, it doesn't even like work normally. I don't know, but those things are so frustrating. And if you live in the States, you probably get scam calls as well. Let me know if you ever get spam calls in Germany or in Europe, if you're in Europe, because I feel like I've never gotten a spam call here, like not even one time, and we've lived here for like almost a year and a half. I don't know what I'm saying. So yeah, let me know if you've ever noticed those differences, if there's anything else you notice, if you live overseas, or if you've been overseas for like studying abroad or anything, those kind of things, those little differences that no one really talks about. let me know because I'm interested, and I love comparing the difference between Germany and the US. So I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!